Hi, this is David Dusek with Golfweek magazine. Welcome to this week's edition of Ask the Expert, the place where you get to ask me anything you like about golf equipment and what the guy's using on the PGA Tour. So this week's letter comes to me from Adam Hoffman in Boone, North Carolina, and Adam writes, "Dear David, how fast do the pros on the PGA Tour go through a set of irons? I know they wear out wedges and replace them several times a year, but do they go through the entire set of irons in a season too? Thanks." Well, Adam, you're right. Pros on the PGA Tour do go through their sand wedges and their lob wedges a lot faster than they go through their irons. And that's because they're practicing so much in the sand and with that lob wedge working on their short game. I had an opportunity to talk with a lot of different players about this, and really, most of the time, guys are going to replace their iron sets once a year. For the most part, they seem to be doing it in the fall after the PGA Tour season ends. Most of them are either going to go into a fresh set of irons, basically just replacing the ones that they had with exactly what they've been using, or this is also the time of year when a lot of companies are bringing out new products to the PGA Tour, and if guys are going to transition into them, they'll use the fall season to sort of break them in, put them into play, and sometimes you'll see them put in a fresh set of irons at that point. I had an opportunity to talk with Jim Furyk about this a little while ago, and he was actually really interesting. One of the best ball strikers on the PGA Tour for players of his generation. He told me he can actually use a 3 and a 4 iron indefinitely. He'll never wear them out. And he can probably use a 5 iron for several years, he told me, because he simply doesn't practice hitting with those all that often. Jim Furyk uses his 8 iron on the driving range whenever he's working on anything with his swing. Sometimes he told me he mixes in a 6 iron, but really he has to replace his irons every year or so because he wears out the mid and the short irons. The long irons, totally fine for him. He could play with those forever. So really, Adam, it's once a year for most of the guys, and a couple of players may try and stretch it out a little longer. Maybe a few of them are going to be a little bit shorter, but just about once a year, guys are going to be putting in fresh irons. Hey, if you, like Adam, have a question you'd like to ask me, the expert, please feel free to email me anytime at ddusek@golfweek.com, or feel free to send me a Twitter message, and my handle is @golfweek_Dusek. Thanks a lot, and I look forward to seeing you soon.